Hi everyone, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. Today we are going to be looking at the new, or relatively new, Great Mazinger from Bandai's SD Cross Silhouette line. So you'll see we have a mode change going on here somewhere. We have squat, little Mazinger, Great Mazinger, and big ultra dynamic Mazinger. So you can see a better look here at the side of the box. And it does have English because obviously there is a market outside of Japan for these models. You have the squat little proportions here, and then with the cross silhouette frame, which actually is included in this supposedly, you can see it right there, pumps up all of the limbs and makes the model kit much more dynamic and flexible and a lot more like a regular Gundam model as opposed to the squat SD style. Now, me personally, I prefer the little squat SD style, so I'm going to be building it without the cross silhouette frame inside for now, but I will put that frame together. Let's take a look at the contents. Yep, we got a box. So, in the instructions, you have the usual, all of the gimmicks. Builder, cross scrambler, sword, gray boomerang, thunderbreak fingers, Majin blade. Sorry, I forgot what it was called. Scrambler dash. Okay. I don't think he has a Southern Cross Shuriken like regular Mazinger. Sadly, I cannot find regular Mazinger in store, so we will have to eventually get him probably online. So we have what looks to be about 4, 5, 6, 7 small frames with the parts on them. Not too many. And it looks like, yeah, we get to build him without the scrambler to begin with. Actually, I don't really see directions on how to put it together with the scrambler other than just, I guess you can just remove the limbs. I don't know. Okay, let's get started here, shall we? So our head here consists of about 8 parts. We have the eyes, obviously, kind of going with the nose. Locks in with the mouth grill. We have the sections that are going to hold the pilder. That goes on the back. That goes on the front. And our thunderbreak horns, like so. Now what's interesting is there's actually a separate eyepiece for the SD mode. This is the cross silhouette mode. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't really see much of a difference. I guess the SD one's a little bit larger eyes. I'm not sure. Nevertheless, we will move on. Body is next. So first we have to build the inner frame of the body. We have the next piece right here, which I'm obviously putting in incorrectly. But I don't seem to see anything for it to latch onto. Oh, that's because I'm doing it upside down. There we go. We have the torso piece. Now this is all plastic on plastic. There are no polycaps as far as I can see. And then we have the front where we attach the shoulder parts to. Again, it really helps when I am doing it the correct direction. That looks very open. Am I doing this right? It seems that way. I don't understand, but that's okay. They kind of sit in there and float around, I guess. We're going to play with that one. I'm going to put this together. So after giving it a good squish, we figured out that, yeah, we did it correctly. We just needed to push parts in a little bit better. And then it is time to put the torso armor on. Torso armor consists of what looks to be about 4 pieces. We have the traditional, well, at least modern anime colored version of his torso being black that I cannot seem to put on. And then we need to make sure that on the lower torso the larger pieces are on the front. Like so. And then keep the joint opening, back of the neck. So I can get that on. And then the iconic breastfire V-fin thing. Taking a closer look, it seems like I actually need to have the bottom. I had it reversed. But anyway, there's the torso. Our head so far. We're making progress. So the inner torso, though, does come from the cross silhouette frame, and one way or another, that is going in there. So bear that in mind. Next up, we're going to do the arms. So each arm consists of about 10 pieces. You have the hand itself, which is actually 3 parts. You have the base, and then you have the actual fingers that go on top of it, and then that's actually modifiable. So if you want to have the various other style of hands, that's totally fine. We're going to put together in a sec. You have the forearm, which consists of the joint and then the 2 outer shell parts. And then you have the shoulder, which is actually a joint that I already put together. And then the shoulder and the upper arm. So I'm going to go ahead and put these all together and we'll see what it looks like. One thing to be aware of when building the hands is when you're putting the 2 parts together here, you want to make sure there's a flat part and a rounded edge of the fist, because I wasn't paying attention and they just did not want to go together until I realized, oh yeah, there actually is something going on there, and the instructions didn't really pay much attention to that either. So something to be aware of. When you actually put the forearm together, you want to make sure that there is an audible click when you put the joint in. You might have heard it, you might not have. And it helps when I figure out which way it's supposed to go. There we go. When putting the upper arm together, you want to make sure, obviously, this is the closed off bottom portion, and you can see these guideposts on the inside to slide it all together. Now again, I did not build it with the cross silhouette frames in there. I like the squat SD version, having played the old Super Famicom Super Robot War games many years ago. Although we certainly could use them. Those cross silhouette parts. We'll save them though. I think I used to have a die-cast model that was kind of similar in size. Alright, next up, it looks like we are going to be building the torso and legs. So we'll get that started now. Alright, we've got all of our leg parts laid out here. We have the waist piece itself, which is actually 3 parts. You have the joints for the thighs and the upper legs actually connected. So there's a little bit of flexibility there. That's kind of new. We have the actual upper leg joint, which I think I'm already putting together incorrectly. Maybe not. Alright, that's a better slide in there. Like so. So far, so good. Then we have the cross silhouette extra joints. These are 2 parts. We're going to set them to the side. Not interested at the moment. We have the lower leg, which I'm going to assume is going to go something like that. Nope, we're going to have that audible click again, I'm sure, if I can put it together correctly. The question is, can I? Let me figure that out. There didn't seem to be any kind of magical clicking sound, but you can see it's lodged in there pretty well. And then we are going to connect the parts like so. There is a little bit of flexibility. And then finally, we have a 2-part leg assembly where we have the joint itself actually just kind of fill in the whole bottom of the foot. Like so. Very squat. And you also need to make sure that you don't forget the little booster fins that attach to the back of the leg. Let's get the other leg put together and then we'll put it all on the body. Lastly, we have the torso armor. What's interesting is you actually have to put a sticker on the inside and then put a clear part there. That obviously attaches to the front, like so. And then the back, we have this weird little hole for, I'm assuming, a support stand or a tail. But Mazinger doesn't have a tail, so there you go. Pretty good size. So far, so good. We can go ahead and put the rest of the body together, except I keep having this part fall off of the lower chest. There we go. Actually, that's a pretty decent size. You can't even fit them all the way on the screen. There we go. Zoom out a bit here. So yeah, overall posability is somewhat limited because of the use of the non-cross silhouette parts and me not shoving things in all the way. And not having any glue doesn't really help either. I'm going to probably glue a lot of these parts together to make sure that they're a little bit more sturdy. But finally, we need to build the fun parts. We need to build the brain condor and his scrambler. Whatever they want to call it in Japanese, I don't know. I'm sorry. Let us continue. Finally, we have the brain condor and the scrambler. 3 to 4 parts for each of them, basically consisting of snapping that on. This had a lot of stickers. Would have been a lot easier to paint it, but I don't have any paints here. And my brother-in-law nixed that years ago when he told in-laws about how much of a mess that was going to make. Why am I not able to figure this out? That looks right. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll just assume it goes that way. I had one of the tiniest little stickers here. So we got our condor done. The scrambler itself is pretty simple. The wings just slot in. There's nothing on the bottom of it. Stickers for the thrusters. And our stabilizer fin on the back. Pop it on. Piled up. Oh! We're going to have to pile it on there a little bit more carefully, it looks like. Alright, and voila! We have our completed Great Mazinger. And again, just for a good scale reference, overall, I'm pretty pleased with the model. I'm not going to be putting those cross silhouette parts in, like I said. I'm old enough to remember when Great Mazinger and... Not Great Mazinger. Mazinger and all of his friends, Shin Robo, first showed up in the old Super Robo Wars, and everything was SD, damn it. No actual proportions whatsoever. They were just heads and bodies with little limbs sticking off. So I am quite pleased with this. Speaking of Great Mazinger, no. Speaking of Mazinger, he's supposed to be releasing in the next week or so, so hopefully I'm going to get him to keep Great Mazinger company. And, I mean, I guess if you wanted to use all of the extra joints that you get, you know, it would be pretty nice. Do have a few optional hands here. 2 open hands and a Thunderbrake pointing finger. I'm wondering if using the Rocket Punch extensions from the regular Mazinger kit, those should cooperate pretty well with our Great Mazinger here. Probably also use these extra open hands for the 2 of them to shake on. But hopefully you found this informative and useful, and hopefully you're going to go get your own and buy these so Bandai keeps making more of the robots that I want to see. With that said, this is High Lord Tamerlane with Obscurities and Miniatures saying thanks for watching. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.